Hi students, very good afternoon. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. How are you all doing? Let more people join in, then we will begin. Hi Harsh, very good afternoon. How are you? Okay, quickly then, I see people joining in. Today we're going to cover the introduction to structural change. My name is Professor Urmi and I'm your class educator for CBSE class 11th and 12th for psychology and sociology both. Hello, Shruti. How are you? Very good afternoon. Okay. So the best thing is that we have done this chapter for the plus classes, and if you are yet to join the plus classes or if you haven't attended any of my special class, please download the Unacademy app and you can attend the special classes absolutely free of cost, and you can understand that we have already covered half of the syllabus. Please lecture Hindi में दिया करो. Harsh, don't worry बेटा. Basically I take up the classes in English and that is the reason मैं English में lectures लेती हूँ. But in case आपको कोई भी difficulty या doubts है, so आप मुझे बता दीजिएगा. मैं उस specific चीज़ को आपको हिंदी में explain कर दूँगी. No issues. Do not worry about it. So yeah, this is a little about me, and very quickly let me give you the plus features. First thing is my referral code, which is being given to you here. You can see that this is Urmi Live, and you can get a 10% discount if you use this for any of your subscription platforms. All right, Harsh. Okay, great, lovely. You can see that you're sitting at your house or you're sitting outside anywhere and learning things from us at Unacademy. This is the most beautiful feature I think online education has given you even before the pandemic. So I think that's the best thing. You have live test series. I'm sure most of you guys have played the ASIN championship yesterday and you have won great amount. And let me tell you, the top 20 and top 10 have been. I know that few of my students are a part of it, so I'm very happy about it. I'm glad that the championship series have went well, and I'm waiting for the next one to come as soon as possible. Uh, we have regular doubt clearing sessions, and you learn from the top educators of our country. We have daily practice sections. Okay, we have mock test and the live quiz. You already know that is the new feature. Unacademy has launched an iconic subscription plan in which you will get a personal mentor. It's kind of a personal tutor because that person will have a regular connect with your parents and give all the details of your achievements and the progress. Um, Hi Ajay sir, how are you? Welcome, good afternoon. I'm so happy आप मेरे क्लास में आए. क्या हाल चाल सर? So good to see you sir. Very happy, very happy. Thank you for coming and मैम आज भी सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ाओगे? तनिष्क says yes बेटा आज भी सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ाएंगे. Next class is going to be of psychology and don't worry, October has been a little busy and hectic, but okay, this month I'm also going to take a few classes YouTube पे on exam planning कि भाई किस तरीके से अपना पूरा planner ready कर सकते हो आप लोग. और ज़्यादा टाइम बाकी नहीं है. February is just like October ऐसे निकला. I think November, December and Jan. So I think I'm gonna help you guys with that. Many people have also asked me that we are a lot of stress, tension and stress कि मैम कैसे होगा? It is about our career. We are not sure about things. So don't worry, I'm gonna take some classes on that also on YouTube. So you will have that option of discussing certain things with me. Okay. Um, Syllabus batches have already began for 11 science commerce completely. Okay, you can see that um, it has live interactions, test series, and the duration has been 8 months. Right from the very start, we guys have made sure that class 12th is being focused and also class 11. So start date May month से ये batches शुरू हुई है और अब December तक के होगी. So you can have an idea. Humanities batch which is already started, I am taking it. You can see my picture here of for class 11 CBSE Sociology, class 12 CBSE Sociology for 2021 batch, both in English and Hindi. You have teachers who are taking batches in English and Hindi both. Just go to the Unacademy Learning app and have a look at it. So there are a few subject teachers who are my friends as well. And like Ajay sir अभी join करके आए, तो मैं बता दूँ history के लिए भी अजय सर है. So there is economics के लिए ऋषभ sir, there is Meenakshi ma'am for English, and there's Nikki ma'am for history as well and for psychology. So just go ahead guys. Barsha is there for geography. She's your geography expert. And these are some amazing teachers who are on board, and I would want you to go ahead and have a look at them. uh, Test series for class 11th, yes, humanities also has been launched. Please go ahead, and yesterday you guys already had your championship. Even for class 12th it has began. So please make sure that you can watch all these things and get the updates from the Unacademy Learning app. Most beautiful thing right now is the creative corner, which is complimentary and completely free with all the classes of CBSE. Any goal you select from class 6 to exactly class 12, you can get it. There's Vedic maths, there is doodling, there is poetry, there is storytelling, public speaking. Actually these things are the basic skill set which is very important for a human being. Okay. Debates. Okay, then you have magic tricks, something for fun, something for your leisure activities, robotics. But these basically are the courses from the creative experts which will give you a good boost and morale to your extracurricular activities, and learning keeps on going. So just get plus subscription for any CBSE goal, and you can get the access and unlimited access basically with the live recorded sessions for these courses. Coming to the plus and iconic subscription features, one is your plus, which is the basic plan which you all have an idea. It's going on since a long time now. Iconic is recently launched for basically our target is not slow learners but for students who require one-on-one interaction and personal mentorship in terms of study planner or talking with your parents and updating them about how much you have learned, how much is left, what is the syllabus which you have to work for, etc. All these things would be properly taken care of. Last but not the least, these are my referral codes. If you want to get any of the subscription plans, you can use Urmi Live and get a 10% discount. Okay. 1 month सब्सक्रिप्शन से लेके 24 months तक के वी हैव सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान्स. हाय कृति, वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून, वेलकम बेटा, हाउ आर यू डूइंग? So good to see you guys all. Okay, so Harsh, Tanishk and Kriti, then I have Shruti, yeah, everybody. So yeah, welcome guys, welcome on board. So you can just vouch for this the what do you call the subscriptions, and you can have a look at it. ऊपर आपको एक टैब दिखेगा जिस पे प्लस लिखा हुआ है एंड देयर पे आइकॉनिक लिखा हुआ है, सो यू कैन जस्ट गो अहेड एंड चेक इट. ऑल्सो नो कॉस्ट EMI अवेलेबल ऑन द 6 months एंड अबव सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको एक साथ पूरा का पूरा देना पड़ेगा. मैम when you start class 11 sociology, बेटा वी हैव अ क्लास 11 sociology. मैं आपको अभी बता देती हूँ कि नेक्स्ट क्लास कब है हमारा सोशोलॉजी वाला. गिव मी 1 minute. Okay, we have a class tomorrow at 11 a.m. for class 11th. Sorry, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. for 3rd November. Yes, and tomorrow I'm going to take a class on the most important questions for class 11 sociology. बेटा कल है एक क्लास कृति. Is that okay? कल 12 से 1 बजे तक की मैं एक क्लास लूँगी जिसमें मैं मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस का एक क्लास पूरा कवर करूँगी. ऑलराइट कृति, Is it clear, beta? Okay, lovely. All right. So मैंने अभी बता दिया so that at least you can keep it in mind, and don't worry, you can just subscribe to the humanities channel. जब भी क्लास होगा आपको एक अपडेट मिल जाएगा. Okay. Yes, you can use this code even for the iconic subscription whenever you want to take it, and you know the drill. Now there are few batches which are starting from today till 31st of January. These are basically known as the prime batches, okay, for your class CBSE 11th and 12th board. The batch timings are given to you, and it is basically Monday to Friday, okay, even for commerce. And these are your preparatory batches for your board examinations. Okay, mostly we are going to prepare you to ace your final examinations along with your pre-boards. अभी जो pre-boards की preparation आप कर चुके हो, अब हम plan करेंगे कि आपकी पूरी की पूरी फाड़ planning हो because of your final exams coming up. Okay, so we will make sure that we rock this one. Now to begin with our chapter, structural change. Okay. Many people comprehend in understanding that structural word means something to do with cultural change, something to do with what we have seen in terms of British rule and post the British rule in our country. Okay. मैम आप कहाँ पे रहते हो? हर्ष सिंह. बेटा मैं बैंगलोर में रहती हूँ. I'm from Bangalore. Okay, Harsh? Is that okay? Okay. So yes, structural change very much basically means that it involves everything with the grasp of past, that is history. Without history, sociology is incomplete, and without sociology, history is incomplete because they go hand in hand. So that is the most important key factor here. Coming to the next one is this probably holds an individual or a social group together. You cannot say that sociology or a structural change is only based on one person. It definitely involves a society. It involves people from the past or in the ancient or the medieval times, which is very important. Colonial experiences. We always think कि colonial experience में हमारे साथ सिर्फ हमेशा बुरा ही हुआ है. We've never seen anything good. Okay, ऐसा नहीं है. Even in the previous chapters, we have read that how industrialization or colonialism together has brought a lot of change. Ideally, which we have witnessed. It is also because of such an exposure to modern ideas, which were contradictory or very paradoxical. For example, Indians in the colonial period read about Western liberalism and freedom. Okay, it is contradiction of this kind of shaped many of structural and cultural changes. What we have seen right from the beginning, guys. Industrialization, modernization, and the concept of liberalism, it was not there earlier. ठीक है, पहले नहीं थी ये सारी चीज़ें. Slowly and steadily it came into picture when people started, realizing that this is an important segment and why and how. Okay, so I think in the next few chapters in the second book, as you know, this chapter is from the second book of our sociology book. These show a reform to nationalist movement, okay? Our laws, our political life, or our constitution, okay? And our industry or agriculture, our cities, okay, or our villages, they have been shaped by our paradoxical experiences with colonialism, okay? This has had lasting implications for our specific experience with modernity And why do I say this? Following are some of the instances which we face in our daily life. When I speak cultural and structural change, structure matlab kya? Ek pattern. The word structural basically means a pattern, okay, in which we are studying about modernity. To reach at a place of modernity, we have come across so many things and overcome them. All right. Ma'am, class 11 sociology, both books are completed or not? Kriti, only one chapter is left from class 11th, and that is Indian sociologist, which we are going to begin today, from today, on our Plus platform. Rest all the chapters are completed on Plus. On YouTube, both the books are not completed. Yes, we have only done the first book. Second book abhi baki hai YouTube mein lena. And from tomorrow I'm starting. So every day, every new what do you call class which I take on YouTube would be one chapter we would be covering, and then we also will be having past year papers, which will also be helpful to you in cracking the final examinations for 11th. And we will be also covering writing tips, okay, in which I would be giving you few extra notes. And those next notes will be helpful for you because when they're on the screen, you can find them that they would be given in the bullet points. So you can note them down, and that will help you to understand it in a better way. All right. All right, lovely. Okay. Now, when I say again, coming back to structure, we say pattern. Okay, we say pattern. We also need to realize that all these things, okay, which have a lasting implication from our society's experience to our specific experiences to modernity, following are just some of the instances we face in our daily life. What are the instances? See, from colonialism, we have picked up everything, guys. Okay, just school uniform you guys are wearing, that is also a lane, a dane from the Britishers to us, which we have picked up from them. Okay, now we have not done that earlier times, may, but this has been taken from them. We always remember that we have a parliamentary and a legal system, police, educational system, everything which is kind of a British model. And why do I say British model? Because we drive on the left side of the road as the British. We eat bread omelette in our breakfast. That is also like the Britishers do. We eat in the canteens like the Britishers. Very popular manufacturer of biscuits is usually named after Britain. You can guess after the class that which one is it. Okay, I think we have discussed this even in the special class. School uniforms, we have a bow tie. That's very much an outfit which represents the British and which we have taken from them or which we have picked from them. Okay, now these are just a few among so many which I'm giving you an example of the British colonialism, and it still lives on in the contemporary India. We have taken it from the Britishers. We follow it, uh, driving on the left side, having bread omelette, eating with a fork and spoon. All these things are developed from the Britishers. These are not the typical indie things which we have done. These are picked and borrowed from the British. And this is also a pattern when we speak about structure. Let us now take an example of English language. Okay. Hi Anand, very good afternoon, beta. Welcome. How are you, Anand? Thank you. That's nice to know that you're fine. No problem. Okay. That's great. Welcome, Anand. Welcome to the class, beta. Okay. Now, let us take an example of English language. Okay. Now, English language basically to show how its impact has been in many sided and paradoxical in India. Paradoxical means that uske two ways hai. It can be having positives also, it can be having negatives also. What about you? I'm doing absolutely good, Anand. Thank you so much, beta, for asking. Thank you. Okay, to show how its impact is has been in our society, how it has been, many sided because it is diverse and paradoxical. Now, this is not a matter about wrong spellings. English is not only widely used in India, But we now have an impressive body of literary writings by English Indians in English. We have great authors. We have Indian authors who have done some phenomenal job in terms of writing, in terms of being an author, in terms of being the people who have made up words which are added in dictionary later. We have certain people who have some amazing literary writings in our country. This knowledge of English has given Indians an edge of the global market. What do you mean by that? What do you mean? Global market, such an important term. As we face immense competition around us, English has acted as a boon to all of us. English has given us an edge in the global market. But English continues to be a mark of privilege. Why privilege? People who know this language, they have advantages. People who don't, they have disadvantage. It disadvantage why? They do not get jobs. You must have seen even in our day-to-day life activities, when you get a job, when you go for a job interview, and if your English is good, you definitely get a job. But the preference is given if you do not know it. Only if you're confident enough, you get it. Okay, ऐसा नहीं कि इंग्लिश नहीं आती तो नौकरी नहीं मिलेगी, but always you get an advantage of knowing the language. And at the same time, for the people who were traditionally deprived to access the formal education, such as the Dalits. Okay, in sociology, we have studied one thing, even in the caste and culture paragraph, that how the Dalits have faced so much apprehensions in getting educations, in walking on the street, or probably even drinking water. All these things have been a part and parcel, even in language also. Even you can say that English has opened so many opportunities that were formerly closed. Okay, that were formerly closed. And I think it plays a major role in understanding the kind of opportunities this language has given to people. Nowadays, we also see some shops. You can see in the picture right here, I have Lucky Cable Cement Store, medical store, something here. Okay, hairdresser here. Why? Because they feel that English language is now a global language. People understand. People not only from your country, from people outside also understand this language. And options of the privilege is better. We focus on structural changes that colonialism brought in. I told you, colonialism not just gave you, it just not gave you an option of having or seeking, uh, you know, uh, education, but in terms of, can you even imagine the type of transport you have now? It just couldn't have been possible without the Britishers or without the colonialism coming into picture. It brought about political, economic, and social structural changes. In this chapter, we will only look at two of these structural changes. One is industrialization and one is urbanization. But both of this came only when colonialism came into picture. Not before that, not because of that, not without that. While we focus, okay, while we focus on the specific colonial context, we also briefly touch on the developments after independence. When I say development, up wahi se you can understand that you're going to speak about industrialization and urbanization. Because without development, there couldn't have been any growth. And this chapter, boss, we are focusing more on growth. That how did it come? How did it happen? How did the pattern or the structure change? Now, these structural changes were also accompanied by cultural changes. Okay, now cultural changes के लिए we have another chapter जिसमें हम सिर्फ cultural changes discuss करेंगे. But this chapter is moreover about structure, pattern, why, past, colonialism, which led to the two structures changes, which are industrialization and urbanization. As you will see, structural changes are very difficult to discuss without some mention of the cultural changes as well. Okay, without some mention of the cultural changes too. Why? Before that, Any questions still here, guys? Do you want to ask any questions? Let me just have a look at the phone. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Please feel free to ask if you have any questions. Okay, Harsh says no, ma'am. Ma'am, are these classes available without subscribing to Plus? Hi, Shelna. Shelna, yes, these classes are also available. You can just go and download the Unacademy Learning app, and you will find the special classes on my profile. Under my profile, there are special classes. For that, you do not have to take the Plus subscription. Those classes are absolutely free, so you can get them. You can have a look at them. Is that okay, Shelna? Any questions more, beta? All right. Okay, so moving ahead, the next thing is understanding colonialism. Okay, what is colonialism, guys? What is colonialism? Any idea? Okay, okay, ma'am. All right, lovely. It clearly is just ruling of one country by the other. That's all. Why? When we speak about colonialism, we know that the Britishers have ruled over us, and that's how we define colonialism. And I'm sure you guys have also read this in your history chapters also. Okay, colonialism simply is the establishment of rule by one country over the another. Okay, in the modern period, Western colonialism has had the greatest impact. Okay, India's past has been marked by the entry of numerous groups of people at different times who have established their rule over different parts of what constitutes modern India today. The impact of colonial rule is distinguishable from all over the earlier rules because changes are brought in far reaching and deep. Changes are brought, absolutely. Absolutely. There have been different impacts. Boss, today you're discussing industrialization and urbanization here. Industrialization and urbanization. Why are you discussing this? Because colonialism came into picture. Without colonialism, it was any which way is not possible. But remember, history is full of examples of the annexation of foreign territory and the domination of weaker by stronger powers. Example, landlords over the peasants, over the farmers. Social stratification, in which the upper class people had always dominated the people who had belonged to the deprived classes. Nevertheless, there is a vital difference between the empire building of pre-capitalist times and that of the capitalist times. It's like pre and post. It's like pre-independence, post-independence. Simple. But apart from the outright, what do you call, the outright pillage, which we are discussing about. One thing which is very important to note and notice, that the pre-capitalist conquerors benefited from their domination by exacting a flow of the tribute in the same. Okay, they did not interfere with the economic base at all, and for this reason, colonialism simply led to very considerable movement of the people. Very considerable movement of the people. Why? First, in contrast to the British colonialism here, which was based on a capitalist system. It directly interfered to ensure profit in most British capitalism. It was more about profits. Yeah, it was more about profits. Okay, I think Shruti is asking, ma'am, what is outright pillage? Okay, but outright pillage basically means something you can say to strip ruthlessly of money or goods, or you can say open violence. Okay, or you can say something. What do you call the mm, the landlords basically pillaged and conquered the city, can be also a pillaged movement in which you're showing the definition to be ruthless in terms of or hungry for goods and services, or goods and what do you call money. So pillage here basically means the act of looting something. It is something which you take as a body, you know. Is that clear? Did you understand? So it has to be something which is very ruthlessly done or taken in the war. Is it okay, Shruti? Did you understand better? Did you understand, Shruti? Any questions on this one? Aditya says, ma'am, my rank in Unacademy Ascend is third. I have won 3 months subscription now. When will I get plus for 3 months? Aditya, first of all, congratulations. This is a wonderful news, beta. Uh, Big clap for you. Wow, yay. So you will get it as soon as possible, and you can just check with the plus team once. Please call them up, in the customer care. And yesterday itself the competition was there, so today is a working day, Monday. I think you can just connect with them and you will get the help from them. And I'm so excited, and welcome on the plus board. And now I'm sure that you will be able to attend all the classes of your choice by the best faculties on board, and may you score really great marks. So congratulations, Aditya. Shruti says, yes, ma'am, understood. All right, lovely. Moving in the next one, uh, it definitely changed, and there were, many times incidented that people were not allowed to enter the forest. Okay, they were like, this was in terms of people who came from the ownership, or you can say the people who entered into the forest, clean trees, tree plantation they did. It brought forest acts a change in the life of the pastoralists. Okay, but they were not allowed. Again, there were different kind of laws and policies which were made post this. I told you, pre-capitalist movement, they brought a lot of policies and lot of law and order as well, which was being taken care later. It led to a movement. For instance, people from the present day of Jharkhand moved to Assam to work on tree plantations because of the job. They had to adapt it. A newly emerging middle class, particularly from the British presidency regions of Bengal, Madras, they all moved to a government, what do you call, as a government employee. They were more of doctors, there were lawyers, which had different part of the country. Then there were people. So what happened? Most of them, they traveled outside in other countries. Okay, people were carted in ships from India to the other countries. What happened? Few of them came back, most of them couldn't. And people who could not return, most of their descendants today are also known as the people of origin. And this question can come, people of Indian origin. They can definitely give this to you in your boards even for 1 marks, or maybe ask you in 2 marks that please define who are the people of Indian origin. So remember this one. Now, why? Just think why. Okay? And when I do this, why? When I ask why, to facilitate the smooth functioning of its rule. Okay? Okay. Ma'am, what is the number of Unacademy customer care? Aditya, you just have to download the learning app beta. There will be a small little box out there, which is known as. Once again, I'll show it to you. It is there once you open the learning app in your phone. If you have downloaded it, just go and click on the box which says "Need help," and that will ask you for the message. You type the message there, and they will give you a response, and you will find the toll free number on that section itself. All right, is that okay? Okay, so to facilitate the smooth functioning of its rule, colonialism introduced an array and wide array of changes in every sphere, be it be legal, cultural, architectural. Why? Because colonialism was a story apart in the very scale of intensity of the changes that it brought about. Some of these changes that it brought about, okay, some in a very intended fashion, unintended fashion. Why? Because they were not knowing, or sometimes they were planned about what they had to do. For example, we saw the Western education was introduced to create Indians, okay, who would manage British colonialism. The reason why they wanted us to be educated enough and get education was not for our betterment, but probably we could be a basic major help for them. And that is the reason they made sure that we are introduced to education. This magnitude and depth of the structural change that colonialism has unleashed can be better grasped if we try to understand the basic features of capitalism. Okay? It's like you want to learn ABCD and you start from A and you directly jump to RST. That's not possible. You need to understand the base. How will you otherwise study? If you don't know what the first five things are, you cannot jump off to 8, 9, 10. You need to understand the entire concept. Capitalism is basically an economic system in which productions are privately owned and organized to accumulate profits within a market system. Okay, we have discussed this in the Indian Society book, the first chapter also. We have discussed in detail about the disciplines of sociology, in which we have also studied the relativity in economics and what is the relativity in political science. Okay, any questions or doubts still here, guys? Please tell me any questions or doubts still here. Any questions, guys? Please ask if you have any doubts or any questions before we move ahead. Because I want you guys to be 100% sure of the basic. Otherwise, there is no faida if we move to the next slide if you don't understand this one. Any questions still here? Okay, all right. Now, Harsh says no, ma'am. All right, lovely. Thank you, Harsh. Capitalism in the West emerged out of a complex process of the European exploration, okay, of the rest of the world, okay. Now, why? What marked the capitalism from very beginning was its dynamism, okay, uh, potential to grow, expand its territory, innovate some new things, creativity, okay. But what marked it too was the global nature, global nature. Western colonialism was, basically, as you can say, that it was connected to the Western capitalism and the unit behind it. And this definitely had a lasting impact on the way it developed, developed in a country like India was. And in the next section, you will witness about industrialization and urbanization to see how colonialism actually led to very distinctive patterns. And patterns, again, we are discussing about the structure here. Now, I'm hoping that you guys are able to connect the dots. So, what did it do? What did it do? It clearly showed you about how the capitalism became the dominant economic system. You can also say the nation states became the dominant political form, that we all live in the nation states. We all have a nationality, and we are basically national citizenship, which basically is a very natural to us today. But even before the First World War, passports were not widely used for international travel, and in most of the areas, people had one. So people traveled also. Now all these things have become a must and you know thing to be done and sorted and all of it. Earlier it was not there. Societies were, however, not always organized on these lines. Nation state, or a particular type of state characteristic to the modern world, which we say, governing body, governing body came into picture. There were different kind of sovereign power which came into picture, which defined the territorial area, guys, which defined the territorial area. And the people are the citizens of a single nation, and nation states are closely associated with the rise of nationalism. Okay, now you have to discuss whether India is a nation state or what do you call, a state nation. Decide. So nationalism implied that the people of India or any colonial society have equal right to be sovereign. Why? Because Indian nationalists, okay, why? Because Indian nationalists, the leaders, were very quick to grasp the entire irony, to develop and adapt the entire irony. They declared that the freedom of Swaraj was their birthright and they fought for their political and their economic freedom. They fought for it, guys. Then came the main thing of urbanization and industrialization. Then came the concept of urbanization and industrialization. The colonial experience. And what did it do? What did industrialization and urbanization do? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me what did it do? What was the basic ideology behind it? Anybody? If no questions, we move ahead. Okay, so there are no questions. I was waiting for you guys to answer. Now, industrialization basically refers to machine production, the emergence. Okay. Earlier, it was most of the agrarian societies where the farmers used to be in the farmers, then we had land, then we had landlords, and all these things came into picture. But here we are just discussing about how industrialization came into emergence with the machine production. Okay. Now, based on the use of inanimate power resources like steam or electricity, okay, in most standard Western textbook sociology, we have also read that how the advancement of traditional civilization has taken place. Okay, now what do you mean by traditional civilization? Most people were engaged in working on the land earlier. Relatively, they did not have any idea about what technology was. They never had any idea about how to do things and what they only knew that it was all about manpower. They never knew what could the machines do. Industrialization started happening from there, where the colonial experience brought into picture that from agriculture to the part of technological development, everything started relatively growing. And that is the stage where we discuss about industrialization coming in the picture. Relatively, the low level of technological department just did not permit more than a small minority to be freed from the course of agricultural production. But by contrast, a prime feature of industrial society today is large majority of the employed. Industry has got it boon and bane both, boss. Both. Both. But rather than agriculture, industries have lessened a lot of of course the job certainty. Earlier, due to the agriculture, the jobs were different, employment was different. Post industrialization, the employment statistics are different. People have basically moved from one village to the cities for their job. Migrations have happened, shiftings have happened. But Not surprisingly, before we usually associate urbanization with industrialization, guys, they often do occur together, but not always. But not always. For example, in Britain, okay, the first society to undergo industrialization was also the earliest to move from being rural to a predominantly urban country. First, it was not like that. It slowly and gradually moved. And that is how we spoke about industrialization clubbing with urbanization in future from the rural to the urban aspect. So in India, the impact of the very same British industrialization led to deindustrialization in some sectors. It's like if you have the goods, if you have the bads also. Decline of all urban centers. Just like the manufacturing boom which had happened in Britain during those days, traditional exports of cotton and silk manufacturers from India also declined the face of the Manchester competition behind it. It was huge. It was huge. And this is not what only I'm saying, or this is not what just other facts are saying, but this is as per the census report of India that this shows clarity. From the end of the 19th century, with the installation of the mechanized factory industries, there are towns which became more heavily populated. Why? Because people wanted jobs. They all went for the jobs. And then what happened? The places became populated, guys. Urban luxury manufacturers like the high quality silk or the cottons of Dhaka or Murshidabad, you know, must have been hit first by almost simultaneous collapse of the indigenous coat, which demanded a lot of external market on which these had largely dependent on. So we stop today here, and we would be starting with um, the rest of it in the next class, because I don't want to overburden. I think tree plantations we would be discussing in the next class, in which I would also be doing some extra questions for you guys. Also, class 12th, and let me tell you guys that class 12th ke liye I'm going to take one. Uh, so, in a nutshell, I've also given some extra notes for you guys. So, probably later on, you can have a look at it, that there are some extra notes also. Please remember that I'm going to take a sample paper class very soon. So please stay tuned and wait for the sample test paper solving to be there, the class for sociology. And I would be also taking one class for psychology for class 12, in which you guys can feel free and ask me about writing techniques and paper pattern structure, which class 12th has released, and we will work upon it. For others who are yet to take the plus subscriptions, or yet to watch the special classes recording, please go and download the Unacademy app. Uh, it will be very easy for you, so that you can just go ahead once and look at the special classes. Not just this, once again, before I finish, Urmi Live is my code. If you would like to take any subscription, you can use this code and exactly get a 10% discount on your plans, right from the first to whatever plans you take from 24 months. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask me before we wrap up for today's class. So Aditya, you can just go ahead and check on once again. I will tell you guys that you can just check on the Plus platform and they will help you right way. Okay. All right then. I hope you guys stay safe and take care of yourself. I'm gonna see you soon, very, very, very soon for the next class. And take care, stay safe, and have a great day. See you very soon. Bye bye.